Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to biology class. Today we are going to continue the chapter respiration in organisms. And in our previous classes, we were studied aerobic and anaerobic respiration. And today we are going to discuss external respiration in detail. Okay, so we know that during breathing we take in air through our nose, and we are in some cases we are using our mouth too. So if we are suffering from cold, cough like that, we just inhale through our mouth also. And when we just close our mouth and nose by using our hands, can we breathe? No, we cannot breathe in that case. So we cannot hold the breath even for a minute. Okay, so that is the importance of breathing in all living organism. We cannot live for more than few minutes without breathing. So breathing is a very important process in the life of every living organisms. Okay, and we know that in breathing there are two processes involved. What is that? Yes, inhalation and exhalation. We intake air, we take in air and exhale air. So the two processes that are involved in the process of respiration or external respiration are inhalation and exhalation. Okay, so the taking in of air rich in oxygen into the body is termed as inhalation. Taking in air with the help of nostrils rich in oxygen. We take in oxygen into our body, and that process is termed as inhalation. Okay, and what is meant by exhalation? Yes, the giving out of air rich in carbon dioxide, rich in carbon dioxide outside the body is termed as exhalation. What is exhalation? Yes, the giving out of air rich in carbon dioxide outside the body is termed as exhalation. So there are two processes involved in external breathing, that is that are inhalation and exhalation. We breathe in, that means we take in oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide. Okay, so that is simply breathing. And we know that breathing is a continuous process. If there is inhalation and exhalation occurs alternately, so we can say that breathing is a continuous process, and from the birth to death of a person, breathing is necessary. Without breathing we cannot survive. Okay, so that is the importance of breathing or external respiration. And there is a term called breathing rate. What is breathing rate? Yes, we know that both inhalation and exhalation takes place during breathing. So a breath means inhalation plus one exhalation. What is a breath? A breath means inhalation plus exhalation. That is a breath. So the number of times a person breathes in a minute is called as breathing rates. What is breath? Breath is the number of inhalation and exhalation. That is, inhalation plus exhalation is termed as breath. Okay, so a number of times a person breathes in a minute is termed as breathing rate. Number of times a person breathes in a minute is called breathing rate. And in an average value, a healthy adult human being at rest breathes in and out 12 to 18 times a minute. So for a healthy person, we breathe 12 to 18 times in a minute. Okay, and during heavy exercise we know that it is not sufficient, the 12 to 18 number of breathing rate is not sufficient during heavy exercise. Why? Because when we have heavy exercise, we need more energy for that, right? So in order to obtain more energy, what will we do? Yes, the breathing rate is increased, and also we take a deep breath. Like this, a deep breath is taken, and also the breathing rate, the rate of breath per minute also is increased in order to get more oxygen. We know that oxygen is necessary to produce energy, right? For the breaking down of food and also to release energy, oxygen is important. So that in order to obtain more amount of oxygen, the breathing rate during the heavy exercise is high. Okay, in order to get more oxygen to break down the food and also to release energy. For heavy exercise, it requires more energy. That is why we breathe so fast, and also a deep breath is taken during heavy exercises. Okay. And when a person is sleeping, that requires a very low energy. So that the breathing rate, what happens to the breathing rate? Yes, the breathing rate will be decreases. Okay, when a person is in a sleeping mode, he or she requires a low energy, so that there is no need of much oxygen by breathing. So that there is no fast breathing occurs, breathing in very slow rate. Okay, and there is an activity in your textbook about to see the variation in breathing rate during different activities. How the breathing rate is changed during different activities. So let's have a look into that activity.
This activity is to see the variation in the breathing rate during different activities. The figures shows that some activities carried out by a person during a normal day. According to your experience, in which activity the rate of breathing will be normal, and in which activity it would be fast or faster? Write in the blanks. Accordingly, assign numbers to the pictures in the given circles in the order of increasing rate of breathing. You can do this activity as your homework.
And the next topic is how we breathe. Which are the parts involved in breathing process of human being? That is what we are going to study. We know that human respiratory system contains nose, nostrils, nasal cavity, then trachea or windpipe, then lungs, bronchi, bronchioles and alveoli. These are the different parts in the human respiratory system. What are the different parts? Yes, first nose, then nostrils, nasal cavity, then trachea or windpipe, then lungs, bronchi, bronchioles and alveoli. Okay, so now we can study about the mechanism of breathing or respiration in human beings. First, we know that we have two holes in our nose. That two holes are termed as nostrils. What are nostrils? The two holes present in the external nose is termed as nostrils. So, through the nostrils, the oxygen or the air enters into the nose. Okay, and when it enters to the nose, that is passed through a passage called the nasal cavity. We know that there is a hole in this area, and that hole or passage is termed as nasal cavity. Through that nasal cavity, air moves. Okay, so when we inhale air, air passes through the nostrils into the nasal cavity. Okay, and inside the nasal cavity, the air that we breathe becomes hot. The air that we breathe will become hot inside where? Inside the nasal cavity. Okay, and there is fine hairs present on the nasal cavity in order to prevent the entry of dust particles. We know that there are lots of dust particles in our environment, right? So when we breathe the air, that may contain the dust particle. So in order to prevent the entry of dust particle into our lungs, the fine hairs are present. And there is also mucus secretion by the membrane lining of this nasal cavity. That mucus makes the air moist. Okay, so these are the substances present in the nasal cavity. Mucus is there, which is secreted by the inner membranes of nasal cavity, and fine hairs are also present in order to prevent the entry of dust particles. Okay, and from the nasal cavity, the clean, moist and warm air passed into the trachea or windpipe. So from the nasal cavity, the air moves where? Yes, the air passes into the trachea or windpipe. Then after that, the trachea branches into two that are termed as two tubes called bronchi. After that, trachea branches into two that are called as bronchi. And bronchi then reaches the lungs, and again it splits into many branches. Bronchi reaches where? Enters into lungs, and where it again branches into, again splits into more branches, and that are termed as bronchioles. Okay, so from trachea it enters to bronchi, and bronchi when it enters into lungs it again branched. So it branches to form bronchioles. So a large number of smaller tubes are formed by the splitting of this bronchioles termed, bronchi termed bronchioles. And the bronchioles have tiny air sacs at the end, and that is termed as alveoli. Okay, and this alveoli this alveoli is present in millions of number in the lungs, and the walls of alveoli have very thin blood capillaries. So the air from the trachea through bronchi and bronchioles finally enters the alveoli. So that is about the the path of air that we inhale, and it is represented as from the nose it enters to nasal cavity, then into larynx. Larynx means voice tube or vocal cord. Okay, voice box or vocal cord. It is larynx, and from larynx it moves to trachea. Then from trachea it branches into bronchi, and bronchi then reaches where? Reaches lungs, and where it is again splits into many branches that are termed as bronchioles, and the tip of bronchioles contains air sacs which are termed as alveoli. This alveoli contains very thin blood capillaries. Okay, so this path of air is very important. I will explain it once again. The air that we breathe enters through our nostrils, which are the two holes in the external nose, and through the nostrils it then passes into where? Nasal cavity. Okay, nasal cavity, and inside the nasal cavity, what are the parts, what are the structures seen? Yes, the mucus is secreted by the membrane lining of nasal cavity, and also the air that we breathe will become warm inside the nasal cavity. And inside the nasal cavity there are fine hairs are also present. For what? Yes, to prevent the entry of dust particle. Then after passing the nasal cavity, then it moves to larynx, and then to trachea or windpipe. Then again the trachea divides into two, that is termed as bronchi. Then bronchi enters into lungs, where it is again branched into bronchioles. Okay, and this the tip of the bronchioles contains air sacs which is termed as alveoli, and this alveoli contains blood capillaries where the oxygen is getting transferred and also carbon dioxide is passed. Gaseous exchange occurs inside the alveoli. Okay, so oxygen combines with the hemoglobin in the blood to form oxyhemoglobin. We know that blood contains a pigment called hemoglobin, and that is hemoglobin is the respiratory pigment in organisms, human beings. Okay, so the blood capillaries contains blood and that blood will carry the hemoglobin, and that hemoglobin receives the oxygen that we inhaled. So it forms the oxyhemoglobin and it is carried into all cells of the body. That is how the oxygen reaches all cells of the body, and when it reaches the all cells, how it is utilized? Yes, it is utilized for aerobic respiration. That means to release energy from the breaking down of food. So inside the cells, this oxygen is used for the breaking down of food and also to release energy. Okay. And similarly, the carbon dioxide produced by the breaking down of food during internal respiration enters the blood. We know that after respiration, after internal respiration, carbon dioxide is produced, right? So that carbon dioxide is also given back to blood, and blood carries this carbon dioxide to the outside. Okay, and blood carries this carbon dioxide to the alveoli in the lungs, and from the lungs carbon dioxide is removed along with the air that we breathe out. So in this way, exchange of gases takes place inside the alveoli.
Energy production in cell. We obtain oxygen from the air around us with the help of nose and lungs. It is then used in the cells to produce energy. The process of taking oxygen-rich air inside the body is called inhalation. And the process of throwing air rich in carbon dioxide outside the body is called exhalation. Together, inhalation and exhalation is called breathing. Let's now understand how breathing takes place. Air enters in the body through openings of the nose called nostrils. It flows through nasal cavity, enters in windpipe and then get filled in the lungs. This is inhalation. During inhalation, the muscular sheet called diaphragm situated below lungs undergo contraction, due to which the diaphragm moves downwards and becomes flat. It causes increase in the chest cavity. With this movement, the pressure of air outside the body becomes larger than the pressure of air present in the lungs. To equalize the pressure, air rushes into the lungs. After absorption of oxygen from air into blood and release of carbon dioxide from blood into the lungs, the exhalation begins. During exhalation, the diaphragm relaxes. It moves up and decreases the chest cavity, due to which lungs get contracted, due to which pressure of air inside the lungs becomes greater than the pressure of air outside the body. To equalize the pressure now, the excess air gets rushed out of the body through nostrils. This is called exhalation. A breath is one inhalation and one exhalation. The number of times a person breathes during a minute is called his breathing rate. The breathing rate depends on need of oxygen, which in turn depend on need of energy. Example, during running or in excessive movements, we need more energy and hence need more oxygen. To obtain more oxygen, we breathe at higher rate. However, when we are relaxed or sleeping, we need little amount of energy and therefore little amount of oxygen is needed. In such condition, the breathing rate is lower. On an average, a normal human body is breathing at a rate of 12 to 18 breaths per minute. During heavy movements, it may increase up to 25 breaths per minute, while during relaxed state, it can go down to 12 breaths per minute. In addition to heavy breathing, during excessive movements, we also take deep breaths so as to get more oxygen during each breath.
So this is about the respiratory system in human beings, how it happens. Okay, and the how air enters into the lungs. In order to demonstrate that, we need to conduct an experiment, or in order to understand this, we need to conduct an activity. So we can just have a look into that activity.
Let us understand the process of breathing through a simple experiment. Take a transparent plastic bottle. Remove its bottom. Then take a rubber cork, Y-shaped plastic tube and 2 deflated balloons. Now to each fork end of the tube, fix the balloons. Cap the bottle with cork. Put the tube attached to the balloons inside the bottle from its open bottom. Make a hole in the cork and pass the open end of the tube outside the bottle through the hole. Now tie a rubber sheet at the bottom of the bottle tightly so that no air can pass through it. Pull down the rubber sheet and watch the balloons get inflated. Now push the rubber sheet inside the bottle and watch the balloons collapse. How do the balloons get inflated and deflated when we pull or push the rubber sheet? When we pull the rubber sheet outwards, the space inside the bottle increases and the air inside the bottle becomes lighter. So the dense air rushes into the balloons from outside. The air enters the tube through the opening outside the bottle. Then the air travels through the tube and enters the 2 branches of the tubes and into the balloons. When we push the rubber sheet inside, the space in the jar is reduced and the pressure is increased. This pushes the air out of the balloons. The balloons get deflated. Now let us see how this correlates to the breathing system. The bottle is like a human body. There is an empty space or a cavity inside the body filled with air called body cavity. The rubber sheet is the diaphragm which divides the body into 2 parts. The upper part is the chest cavity. The Y-shaped tube is the trachea and the bronchi. The balloons are like the lungs which are situated in the chest cavity. Now let us see what happens in our body. The opening of tube outside the bottle is the opening in the nose, which is the nostrils. When diaphragm goes down, it makes the chest cavity larger. In the same manner, when we pull the rubber sheet, the space inside the bottle gets larger. The oxygen-rich air from outside enters the windpipe through the nostrils. It happens just like what we saw in the experiment. Air enters the bronchi, like the air enters the 2 branches of the tubes in the experiment. Then finally, air goes to the lungs and the lungs get inflated as the balloons in the experiment. Similarly, when we push the rubber sheet or the diaphragm, it moves the air up and the cavity becomes denser. There is more pressure on the balloons or the lungs and air gets out of the body through the same path as before. That means from lungs to the bronchi, windpipe, nasal cavity, nostrils, and finally out of the body. Thus, the breathing is controlled by the movement of diaphragm. Diaphragm is a membrane which is present between the chest and abdomen. The movement of diaphragm is controlled by a group of muscles.
So this is enough for today's class. We were discussed different topics like external respiration, or simply it is breathing. Okay, and there are in breathing there are two processes are involved: inhalation and exhalation. We take in air through inhalation and we gives out air through exhalation. And what is breathing rate? Yes, the number of inhalation and exhalation, or number of breath of a person per minute is termed as breathing rate. For a normal person, it is about 12 to 18 per minute. Okay, and how the respiratory system of human beings work. So we know that there are different parts involved in the respiratory system of human beings and how the air passed through that. That are the things that we have studied in today's class. So the rest of the portions we can take in our next class. Thank you.